So I really wanted to just cover some information on sewing machines. I know we do have you on the group that's been sewing for quite a while, but we also have brand new sewers with us that's never sewn before. So I am going to just talk to you quickly about sewing machines. Now, if you are going out there and you are looking for your sewing machine, you've got to do your homework. You've got to make sure you're going to get backup. You're going to get spares for that machine. You are going to get a bit of training on that machine. Service is available if you need it serviced. I've got you all know I do have the Bernina Edenvale shop. So our range that we've got is for our, let's say beginners. Well, not really beginners, but we have an excellent Bernette range, which is our entry level into the Bernina ranges. And we start from a really basic one to our computerized one, which is a very popular machine. I don't know where you all are staying, what you've got in your area, but go look. If you've got a Singer or an Alna or a Bernina, do your homework, go to each of those shops and actually go look what they're offering you and ask them to sew on the machine. Even if you're just doing a straight stitch machine, go and see, and important, you know what, ask them to make a buttonhole for you, because you are going to be doing buttonholes when you're doing your garments. So make sure it's got a nice buttonhole stitch for you. Make sure you've got, at least if you haven't got an overlocker yet, that you've at least got an overlocker stitch. It's not an overlocker, but at least I can still finish my edges that I've got. So those are things that you are going to ask when you are going to look at those machines. So when we look at machines, there's 3 categories of machines that we are going to look at. We have got our entry level or a really basic machine, which is going to be our mechanical machine. A level up from that, we go into our electronic machines, and then from there we go into computerized machines. So as I'm going up, I'm getting more features from that's in that machine. And I have done just small little short videos that we are going to insert here for you, so that you can just see the difference from the mechanical all the way up to the computerized. So we did do little videos, we are going to insert it now. But if you are really a beginner and you just want to start off, make sure you're going to enjoy the sewing, you can go look at a mechanical machine. A mechanical machine is, I have got to set my own stitch. I've got to go look at my manual. I've got to look at the stitch length, stitch width, and all of that. So computerized, again, I've got so much more features that I've got to do. So it gives me more variety that I'm going to do. So we're going to insert the videos here for you, and then we will carry on to the next section. But I really did try to just give you a little bit of a breakdown with those videos so that you can see the difference between each of those machines. The entry-level machines, like we've got here with our Bernette, is mechanical machines. This is really for our beginners or someone that's really doing some basic sewing. With the mechanical machine, you will see that my stitches will show there. You have got to go and turn the dial to the stitch that you want. Then you've got to go to your instruction book and you've got to go see what stitch length and what stitch width you need to set. So as I said, this is really our entry-level machine. So if you are a total beginner, then you will most probably be looking at a mechanical machine. From here on, we go to our electronic machine and then to our computerized machine. Okay, now we're looking at an electronic machine, and as you can see, again, I've got more functions. It's where with my basic machine, I just had my dials for stitch length and stitch width and stitch selection. Now, again, I've got buttons that I've got stitches that I can select. You will have more decorative stitches to choose from, and some of the machines you'll also find you'll have more buttonholes that you can choose from. But you will always have a little panel here where all your practical stitches will be. So anything here is my practical stitches, my standard buttonhole. As I said, you can have extra buttonholes on the machine. Everything here, it shows me what, I'm just going to go to a straight stitch. It will tell me what presser foot I need to use. And then with electronic, I start getting more needle position so that I can move my needle around for top stitching. And this specific machine, our Chicago 5, has got a lot of features. I've got speed control. And now what is nice, with a mechanical machine, my needle will stop anywhere where I stop. And I've got to turn the flywheel on the side to get the needle up or down. With electronic machines, it will either stop at the top or the bottom, and I can set my machine to literally just by pressing a button to stop up and down. So we do have a lot of additional stitches. If I just go do a zigzag, again, it will show my zigzag stitch for me. It will tell me what presser foot. Everything is preset. If I do want to make changes, I can, again, just go a bit longer. I can go a bit narrower, but on some of our electronic machines, it also offers us a wider decorative stitch. If you also look here now, you can see there is a lot of additional stitches that we can do as soon as we go to electronic machines. I've got double needle function on this specific machine, but this just puts you the options that you've got, the features you've got on these machines, just gives you so much more that you can do when you start really going into your sewing and your dressmaking. Like I mentioned, that is my standard buttonhole, but if I look on my stitch panel there, I do have about 10 buttonholes here. So I've got buttonholes for stretch fabric, for jean fabric, for all sorts of fabric. So now you can see your choices become so much more that I can choose from once I start moving to my electronic machines. When we go to computerized machines, you'll see that we've got a touch screen, and obviously we've got a lot more functions than what we have on our electronic or on our mechanical machines. So if I'm sitting in front of the Bernina 77, so it will always switch on my straight stitch. It will always switch on my basic stitch length, which is 2.5. If I choose anything else, my machine is preset to actually go and choose the width and the length of the stitch. At any time I want to, I can go change it. So I can go wider, and you'll see it's gone wider. If you look at that one, I can go longer. And I can physically see, can you see? I can physically see what the stitch is going to look like. Obviously, also we've got a lot more stitches that we can do. You can see we've got a lot of functions that we can do. So computerized gives us a lot of options. I can go into my needles and I can tell it if I'm going to work with twin needles and anything like that. And it will recalculate any of my stitches that I've got. On computerized, most of the computerized machines, we do have foot pressure as well. It works like a computer. I've got little folders. There's all my decorative stitches. So I can go open my decorative stitches. So can you see everything is touch screen? I've also got speed control that I've got. I've got automatic cutter. With this specific foot as well, when I just want to start sewing, can you see it automatically drops and goes up? I've got dual feed as well, which works like a walking foot, which is perfect for working with difficult to feed fabrics. On this specific machine, I've even got a sewing consultant, so I tell it I'm going to work on jeans fabric. This is just functions that I've got. I'm going to do a straight stitch, and it will give me my information, what needle I'm going to use, what foot I'm going to use. Everything is given to me. It will go and choose the right stitch for me that I'm going to use, and I will then have automatic tension. Everything will be set for me. So you can see as we go to computerized, it's a lot more advanced. So there's a lot more features on these machines.